What's next with Frieza? And since we don't really know for sure what's happening next, let's go over some what ifs and some possibilities of what may happen. Now, he was teased in some recent Dragon Ball Super cover art, but we don't know exactly where that's gonna go. We don't know if he's gonna appear soon or later on, so let's just talk about some what ifs here. But first, let's talk about what happened the last time Frieza appeared. And well, we all know what happened then. When Black Frieza appeared, it was a shock for most people. It was sort of hinted at that Frieza would make an appearance throughout that saga of the granola and gas arc, but as a whole, Frieza coming back with a new form, that was pretty surprising. However, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about what might possibly happen next and who his future opponents may be. Because right after he speed blitzed Goku and Vegeta in his new form, he then says, "But I came here in pursuit of a different target. So I'll let you off easy today." Now, that line right there, that could mean a few things. Obviously, the first thing, he was talking about gas in the heaters. Now, obviously, we could just say that's who he's referring to, but where's the fun in that? Now, personally, one of my favorite takes is he's coming back to challenge Beerus. My thoughts are he could be trying to finally get Beerus out of his way, or possibly be gunning for the title of Destroyer. However, there's one problem with that theory. Would they go that far? Would they potentially kill off a character like Beerus? Now, my opinion has always been no, they would not do something like that. Especially in something like Dragon Ball, where characters constantly get wished back. But, now with Toyotaro taking over, I'm starting to think, would he do that? That would be a huge change of pace and a huge turnaround for Dragon Ball in terms of making the story a little darker and a little more serious. Now, would that ever happen? I would say there's probably a 98.5% chance that will not ever happen. Or at least, not to that degree. But that's always been my favorite theory to look at. Frieza gunning for Beerus and challenging Beerus. And you have to remember, we're basically just going over a bunch of what ifs right now. So before anyone comes at me saying, oh, Beerus is stronger than Black Frieza, calm down, please. Especially when we can't even say for certain Beerus is still stronger than Frieza anymore. Now, I'm not saying Black Frieza is stronger than Beerus, but we don't know the full extent of Frieza's power yet. We don't know the full extent of Beerus's either though, but still. I'm not trying to power scale here, I'm just throwing out some what ifs and some possibilities. And if not gas in the heaters, and if not Beerus, then who? Well, how about another character that's still yet to be made canon? That's right, I'm talking about Cooler. No, not Freezer, Cooler. Okay, enough with the Cooler puns now. But yes, I feel like bringing Cooler back and finally making him canon now as well is also another possibility that could happen. And you may say, oh, but he's weak, but he's weak. To be fair, we don't know how strong he would be if he was brought back now. Look at Broly. They finally made him canon, and his power is completely different than what it was in the first Broly movies. Not only his power, but his appearance and everything else too. So who's to say what they might change about Cooler as well? And if not him searching for his long-lost brother, then who? Another answer could be, it could be someone completely new. Someone we've never heard of or seen before. It could be Frieza's mother. Okay, now I'm joking. Well, partially. If not gas in the heaters, if not Beerus, if not his brother or mother, then who? I could see one person Frieza would want to get revenge on, and that would be the mustache man himself. No, not GT Vegeta, I'm talking about the Pride Trooper, Toppo. Because we all know the beatdown that Toppo put on Frieza during the Tournament of Power. If a man put his fist 3 feet through your back, you can't tell me you would not want your get back right there. I'm telling you, Frieza's been plotting, he's been training for those 10 years in that hyperbolic time chamber he found, all to get revenge on Toppo. And once again, that is still mostly a joke, but we're just throwing out possibilities out there. Now, one thing I don't want to happen, I don't want Dragon Balls to be involved too much. I know that's kind of ironic to say, not to bring up Dragon Balls in Dragon Ball. I just hope in the next few arcs, they don't rely too heavily on the usage of the Dragon Balls. I feel like that would add a little more urgency to everything, and a little more consequence that we don't really get to see too much anymore in Dragon Ball. Because the consequence is always there, it is always there, but it ends up getting wished away. So what I hope it's not is I hope it's not anything revolving around the Dragon Balls. So after all of this, I would say my main takeaways would be, it's either going to be Beerus, it might be his brother, it could be his mother, it could even be the mustache man himself from Universe 11. But no, on a serious note, I do feel like the Beerus possibility is one of the higher ones, him trying to challenge Beerus. Maybe his brother, maybe him going out to try to find his brother now. But I feel like the highest possibility out of everything is it's going to be someone we haven't seen yet. someone completely new, and honestly, I wouldn't mind if they went that way either. Of course, it's always fun to talk what ifs, like what if Frieza fought Beerus, or what if Cooler became canon, but in all honesty, it probably will just be something new. And honestly, me as someone who loves what if stories, I would be perfectly fine with that. I would welcome that with open arms. But the real question is, what would you want to happen? What do you want to happen? What do you want Frieza to do next? Who do you want his next opponent to be? Do you want him to try to challenge Beerus? Do you want him to find his brother? Do you want him to find his long lost mother? Fight Toppo? Or do you want it to be something fresh and new? Because me, I'm open to all of those possibilities. I know we didn't really cover too much in this and we only really talked about a few what ifs, but honestly, that's all we really have right now. Outside of a cover art showing Black Frieza, we don't really have too much. And honestly, I'm all for it. I like the suspense. To a certain degree, as long as they don't get too outrageous with it. Who knows, Toritaro might try to bring back Frieza's son from Dragon Ball AF. Shout out to everyone who knows about Dragon Ball AF. But yeah, I feel like those are the main possibilities or the main ones I think of. But if you have any different ones or any different opinions about any of them, please let me know down in the comments below. I'm open to hearing all of your suggestions and all of your what ifs that could possibly happen. And well, I think that's all we have for this one, but before we end this, I want to give a huge shout out to our channel members. Shout out to you, I love all you beautiful people. Also, one more thing, with us finally now passing 50,000 subscribers, I think we can now comfortably say we're on the road to 100k. We're finally on the road to 100,000 subscribers. And I wouldn't be here doing this without you, so thank you to everyone who watches. And well, I think that's all we got for this one. If you enjoyed and if you want to see more, drop a like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.